Welcome back to the Business Psychology Hub channel. Have you ever wondered what factors influence your shopping behaviour? Did you know that our assessment of expected product benefits, rational decision making, emotions, heuristics, our habits, mental accounting, feelings of trust, our general mood, feelings of attachment towards the sale item, ability to pay, the interaction with sales staff, market forces, social influences, the convenience of the sale process, and random factors can all significantly influence whether people are willing to buy a good or service, and if so, how much they're willing to pay. With the exception of donations, we'll usually only pay for goods or services that we believe will fulfill a need or provide us with some type of benefit or positive value. There's usually a direct relationship between our willingness to pay and our assessment of the perceived value. The more that we're convinced that the purchase will fulfill our needs or provide value, the more we'll be willing to pay for the good or service. Furthermore, if additional positive attributes can be associated with the product, this will also increase our willingness to pay. In order to make a rational assessment of a potential purchase, we must be able to articulate the key decision-making criteria. For example, if a rational decision maker was seeking to purchase milk, they would be able to list the essential and desired decision criteria for the purchase. The rational decision maker would then be able to assess the milk purchase options against each criteria. Finally, the rational decision maker would buy the option that best fulfills the decision criteria if the purchase options fulfill his minimum requirements. If a product is superior on some criteria, but inferior on others, then the rational decision maker must assess which criteria should be given more importance. In the example, if supporting local industry and having no chemical additives is more important than cost and fat levels, then the rational decision maker will purchase the locally produced milk. Rational decision making, however, takes time and is usually mentally draining, especially when there's no clearly superior purchase option. That's why the majority of our purchase behaviour is not based on rational decision making. Emotional states, when compared to rational decision making, allow us to make quicker decisions with much less cognitive effort. Marketers are very much aware that many of our purchase decisions are heavily influenced by our emotions. Every one of us experiences emotions such as happiness, fear, anger, and envy. When we feel happiness, we experience positive feelings, a sense of satisfaction, and we feel sociable. Our behavioural tendencies when we're happy is to connect with other people and to actively seek out rewards and positive outcomes. When we're afraid, we have appraised the situation to be unsafe and we're motivated to flee the danger or to find a safe environment. When we're angry, we believe that something we highly value is being threatened, whether it be ourselves, loved ones, or an ethical standard. When we're angry, we become highly motivated to stand up and attack the perceived threat. When we're envious, we feel inferior to others who we feel have an advantage over us. An envious person will often seek to better the people they believe to be their rivals. While emotions help us successfully navigate everyday life, our emotional states can be manipulated by marketers in a way that influences our purchasing decisions. Marketers strategically seek to associate products with an emotional advertising experience that will increase the prospect of that product being purchased. For example, we're more likely to pay for a gym membership or spend money on a holiday when we're experiencing the emotion of happiness. We're more likely to purchase insurance or home security systems when we're experiencing fear. We'll be more likely to purchase from the local shops if we feel anger at the larger multinational supermarkets, and we'll be more likely to open an account at a community bank if we're angry at the bigger banks. We'll be more likely to splash money on prestigious status symbol items such as expensive cars or watches when we're feeling envious or inferior to others. We will be more likely to buy an item if we feel attached to it. Have you ever wondered why an online magazine will give you a 6-month free subscription trial period? Why a car salesperson is so happy to let you drive a car that you're interested in? Or why at a jewellery shop the salesperson will insist that you physically put on the items that catch your eye? These salespeople are allowing you to become intimately connected with their product with the strategic goal for you to form an attachment to the item on sale. All good salespeople know that once you form an attachment to the product, you'll consider paying a premium to keep that feeling of ownership. Behavioural economists and psychologists call this phenomena the endowment effect. In a complicated world, we rarely consider all the relevant information available when making a purchase. Instead, we often apply heuristics or rules of thumb to guide our purchase decisions. Heuristics, like emotions, allow for quick decisions that are not mentally draining. Although heuristics at times can result in regretful purchases, most of the time they result in shopping decisions that are good enough. Some of the rules of thumb or heuristics that we commonly use include purchasing the cheapest, buying the option that's rated as having the best main feature, buying the brand with the most attractive packaging, buying the brand that you know, and buying the same brand as last time. We are creatures of habit, especially when it comes to our purchasing behaviour. If we are happy with a brand that we've purchased before, there's always a risk associated with purchasing a new brand. We can only buy what we can afford, and nearly all of us face constraints on the money available to make our purchases. Even in a world of easily accessible credit, there are still credit limits and an upcoming obligation to make a repayment. Psychological research has found that people rarely use budgets that reflect their overall life situation. Rather, people tend to draw upon separate budgets for different types of expenditure. For example, we may have a budget for grocery shopping that is not related to our budget for eating out or buying gifts. It has also been found that our budget changes when we're paying by credit card rather than cash. Knowledge of a standard market price will set a benchmark for how much we're willing to pay. If we know that other shops sell milk for $2, then we will not be happy about having to pay $3 for a bottle of milk. In other words, the market price anchors how much we're willing to pay. Large supermarket chains often try to lure customers into their stores by heavily discounting a small number of goods, knowing that the average consumer will also purchase a larger shopping trolley of normally priced items. Humans are social animals. Our social instincts commonly affect our purchasing behaviour. We often look at what others are buying and seek to purchase what is popular at the time. This type of behaviour is based on the premise that if it's good for others, then it will be good for me. A social endorsement from a respected figure can also increase our propensity to buy at a premium. For example, if the Air Jordan shoe was not associated with a basketball superstar, but the shoe was instead marketed purely on product specifications without an endorsement from Jordan, then Nike shoe sales and profit margins from the shoe would have almost certainly been a lot less. When we buy a product, we want to actually purchase what was promised to us by the seller. We will be less likely to make a purchase if we do not trust the seller or the quality of the product. Sellers with a reputation for providing a consistent quality product will benefit from higher sales. Many sellers offer a return policy to overcome purchase barriers associated with concerns about quality. We will also be more likely to buy at a premium if we consider the seller to be an expert. For example, you'll probably be willing to pay more for a qualified tradesperson to fix your kitchen sink than a handyman without a qualification. Our time, like money, is valuable to us. No one likes being made to wait unnecessarily when we're buying something, or being forced to travel long distances to make a purchase, or having to spend additional effort filling out forms for no good reason. Many people will pay a premium to participate in a convenient purchase process. For example, a big benefit of online shopping is that you can make the purchase at home on your iPad and then have the goods delivered to your door. An interaction with a salesperson can significantly influence whether or not we're willing to buy and how much we're willing to pay. Consumer research has found that we're willing to buy more from salespeople that we like and trust. Sales staff who are skilled in making a customer feel important are nearly always more successful, as many people cannot resist paying more when their ego is being stroked. We are also more likely to buy or tip sales staff from whom we receive a perceived act of kindness. Psychological research has found that people feel obliged to reciprocate acts of kindness and are willing to pay more from sales staff from whom they've received a free mint or a cup of tea. Our general mood can also affect our buying behaviour. Whereas emotions reflect responses to particular short-term situations, our moods are more stable and reflect how we feel over a longer-term period, such as a few days or weeks. It has been found that people who have experienced a sad mood over a period of time will buy more at the shops than people who have experienced a positive mood. You may be surprised to find out that random factors can significantly influence our shopping behaviour. For example, a market price usually anchors how much we're willing to pay for a good or service. When we're not sure what the market price is, however, a random anchor that is presented just before we make a willingness to pay estimate can become the price anchor. For example, it's been found that reading the last few digits on one's social security number before making a bid on a bottle of wine can significantly influence one's willingness to pay for that bottle. In fact, who knows how many random factors are out there subconsciously impacting upon our shopping behaviour. In the next video, we'll explore the impact of emotions on our shopping and business behaviour in more detail. If you're interested in this business psychology course, then please subscribe to this channel. Welcome back